Jerry the Mouse. For Tom and
Bennet
Jerry.
Best Character.
BBC tips. Is it true that Satos is better than Clorinda? Is Clorinda the next coming of Sino? Does Fischl actually do anything? And when the fuck are you uploading, you lazy piece of garbage? These are all questions I've been asked in the BBC community, and as the supreme vanguard of all things BBC, I have decided to theorycraft and analyze what makes and breaks Clorinda. First and foremost, let's address the elephant in the room. How does she stack up against the competition? The competition of the vernacular element of Electro includes, you know him, you love him, Sino! If we were compared straight on the shit, Sino has the stats, but Clorinda has the sauce and the ambition to conquer the throne of the king and to take back the sun. Sino is a man by many names. The King of Air, the Duke of Heaven, the Messiah of Purple Darkness, and the Dancing Sun God. But you've already known all of this. Sino is quite tough competition. But I am happy to announce that their AoE multi-wave potential is similar, but I would personally conclude that Sino is better because he pontificates much better than Clorinda does. But besides Sino, who else is our main competition? Her competition include Miss Raiden. I need C3 R5 to do any sort of relevant damage Shogun. So I was playing Raiden. My C3 R2 Raiden. I started my rotation, and this dogshit ass bitch misses a fucking crit. And my DPR drops to fucking 0. So I try to play Chevros. I've been told BBC tips. Chevros is amazing. She fixes all of Raiden's issues. And she's comfortable to use. Little did I know, I was scammed. She does fucking nothing. My Raiden still does less damage than C0 Gaming. Her initial slash is literally as damage than one Zhang Ming Plunge. Why do people defend this character? She's worthless. She's always been worthless. And she will always be worthless. Knowing all of this, I personally believe Clorinda is a superior choice to the Raiden Shogun. A very common misconception about Clorinda is that she's actually, much like every other Electro, needs Fischl. But that is, dear viewer, the biggest Ponzi scheme in the Genshin community. Fischl being good in Electro teams was always such a weird misconception to me. But BBC tips! Is the Fischl used in every single Electro team? Now tell me, dear viewer, what strong, relevant Electro teams use Fischl? Yaemiko Aggravate? Kaching Aggravate? Clorinde, no! The great huntress of the lightning dragon blade of absolution, Clorinda, does not use Fischl in her team comps. That is the biggest misconception about her. Saying Clorinda needs Fischl is like saying Afumeido needs Faujan to do any sort of damage, but he in fact does not, because Yunjin exists. But that goes again to my point of Afumeido's being Nivret, closest competition, but it actually deserves its own video. And you know what? It actually makes me mad. Normally, I BBC tips don't get angry at the foolishness and cluelessness of the BBC community, but I've had it up 2 years with people pretending Fischl does anything. 3 years! It's been 3 years! And people still fucking think she does something. The homeless man across the street contributes more to society than Fischl does in Clorinde teams. Realistically speaking, Kujo Sara outperform Fischl in every single team where Fischl is used, because Kujo Sara C6 provides 60% electro damage, and as we all know, crit damage is the only stat that matters in Genshin Impact. Okay, right? So here's the thing about crit value, right? Crit rate does not matter, because if you have high crit damage, even though you crit less, you will hit much harder. As we all know, Fischl does not provide you with crit damage, unlike most sub-DPSs who provide both damage and an offensive buff. Fischl just does damage. Not only that,
it's so
in most
annoying that
situations,
Kaya's better.
Fischl damage is actually so dogshit that you should just give her Elegy of the End and 4-piece Tenacity of the Millilith so she does fucking something in her worthless fucking life. And even if you don't have Kujo Sara C6, you should just use the superior option for Clorinda, such as Yunjin of the Afu bloodline, or Beidor. Both of these options provide much more to a team than Fischl does. Yunjin of the Afu bloodline provides Clorinda with attack speed, as well as the vernacular stat of flat damage, which is in fact Clorinde's best stat after crit damage for a personal output. Well, you might say, BBC tips, but isn't Yunjin's buff single target locked? So is Fischl's entire damage! And if you want AoE, you should just use Beidou. While she does not buff Clorinda as much as the great Yunjin, in AoE, because of her C6 shredding Electro res and her AoE output, she is a far superior option to both Yunjin and Fischl in AoE. While Yunjin is still better for Clorinda, you would most likely want a character as strong as Yunjin for the other side of this, with characters such as Aleitam and Afumedo. But BBC tips, doesn't Fischl use Elegy? Isn't that better than Beidou's shred? Okay then, Divio, but have you ever considered that Beidou can use the shoe armor of the Aquamarine, which buffs your entire team's attack, if you build fully M, which you might want to do anyway, if you are playing an Hyperbloom team with Clorinde, Naida, Candice and Beidou. She's just a far superior option to buffing Clorinda's damage than Fischl is, and that's just not the case with Clorinde. Every single team where Fischl is an option, there's just a better option than Fischl, and that begs the question. Fischl has been proven every single time as a fraud every time she had a place or a team, or got buffed in any sort of way, she still did nothing. When Dendro came out, people were selling Agravit like crazy. They told me she was universal. She told me she was F2P friendly. They told me she was powerful. She was going to be amazing in other teams. And then you can guess what happened? Fucking Koki Shinobu is bad. Koki Shinobu is the equivalent of Platinum Lynx. She does nothing. All she does is heal and provide the bare fucking minimum, which is apply AoE Electro and proc Hyperbloom. And that alone is better than Fischl. And then Golden Troop came out. What did the same people say there, Viola? Same song and dance. BBC tips. She does more damage than Viola. She's free to play friendly. She does so much for Solitaire. And guess what? Nothing changed. Time and time again. Same people trying to sell her and failing. If she is so good, why does nobody use her? Why is there not a single relevant 5-star DPS they want Fischl on their team? I thought of the video. The dark truth about Electro. The dark truth is Fischl does nothing. She's a fraud. People need to stop. We need to collectively shit on Fischl for contributing nothing, absolutely nothing to any team ever. People call Zhongli a DPS loss. Zhongli's pillar contributes to teams as much as fucking Fischl does. And that is the review of Clorinde's place in the meta. Make sure to like the video and comment how much you love the BBC. BBC tips out.